Oh, also,
You know.
I got a new cup.
New cup.
It's
Okay, I'm
got
gonna make you
bows
big so I can
and
see it.
ghosts.
Oh, cute.
And they sent me with it a little flower straw charm.
Cute. Cute.
And I bought another straw, but it's not even sent yet because I didn't look at the description, and apparently she hand glass blows all of her straws.
God.
So, but it's a straw that on the tip looks like it has a little blood drippies.
Cute. Do you want to see my new nails, by the way?
Yeah, I do.
I got them in the mail yesterday. So this is what the package showed up yesterday. Whenever I was on stream, and I was like, I don't know what this package is, and then I figured it out. It was stuff that I ordered. But here they are. They're little guys. They're little bunnies.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah, they're really cute. Let me take them out so you can see them better. Yeah.
Nice. What? Sushi, you have a lot to say today.
And then
they've been insane.
These are the cosplay ones that I'm using for Marcel. They're gorgeous. Ooh. I love them so much. They have like that like magnetic cat eye polish on them.
Yeah.
So I'm like really obsessed with them. Both of them have that. And they're hand painted.
That's cool.
Like these like flowers specifically are like hand painted. I'm like,
that's really cool.
Crazy.
Mine are just pink.
Just pink?
Pink.
Heck yeah. These are the free ones that I got from Mom, but I'll show them later.
Nice. You also need to tell me how you order your nails off of Etsy because I'm still a little confused.
Okay, I can easily do that, like right now. So basically, at the beginning, before I ordered anything, yeah, there's like sizes and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I took a piece of tape and I put it over my nails, like all of them, but mainly just my thumbnail. And I marked both sides of where my nail starts, and then I measured it. And the measurement, like in, I think it's like centimeters or millimeters, I'm not sure. Both of that, like that measurement is what number size your nail is.
Okay.
I don't think that any of these ones have a number on them. But I get size small. Because my nails are tiny. Welcome back, all you crazy kids, to another episode of the Whimsical YapCast. I'm your host, Joy.
And I'm Lysa.
And then this show, think about things, make it happy. You know, you guys have been here for a while, you know.
Bada big.
I told Lysa that I was gonna do a cold open, and that's the closest I got, my guys.
I love it. I love it so much. Bada bing.
Anyway, welcome to the K-pop episode, guys.
The K-pop episode.
AKA, it's time for me to yap.
I'm excited.
It's time for me to yap.
I'm ready to be educated.
I'm gonna tell you that I prepared so little for this. Because I'm just gonna go off the top of my dome, what's going on and things. Yeah.
I'm gonna apologize. I'm gonna apologize off the top right now. My cats are kind of on one today, and so
this might also be the cats episode because both of my cats they've recently decided that 10 a.m. is now the time that they are going to get fed, and it is in fact 10 a.m. So if they start yelling, just don't worry about it. It's just going to be the ambient sound that is going on today.
Yeah, one of my cats found a toy and she's playing with it right next to my desk, and she also is the most talkative one, so she's probably gonna have some opinions.
She has some opinions about the toy.
Yeah, she's been giving them to me already. She's been hitting me with the I'm like, girl, okay.
Also,
speak your truth.
I want to point out your like little Juicy Couture like vibe that you got going on today. Yeah. Slay.
Yeah. Our air conditioning wasn't pointed in the right direction yesterday, so I was burning up, and then Dayton figured out that it was pointed down when the cats must have like knocked it and pointed it down. So when he pointed it back up, it froze out the room, and so I was like, well, I'm just gonna wear a jacket.
Nice. I had to turn on my AC earlier because it was 78 degrees in my apartment.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was really great.
Just
Yeah, and thanks. It's a heat wave right now. You know? Oh my god, I didn't even address the elephant in the room.
Elephants.
Hair gone.
Oh yeah, hair gone.
Hair gone.
Mine's just claw clip.
Heck yeah.
Claw clip ponytail.
I finally figured out what energy you're giving. You ready for this? Are you hold on to your butt, okay? Ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. It's the mom from Mean Girls.
Oh my gosh, Amy Poehler? Yeah. 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 You girls need anything? A snack?
A snack?
Are you drunk? Or do these have alcohol in it? No. Why? Do you want some? Because if you're going to drink, I'd rather you do it in the house. She's so
very
good
much the energy you're giving today. And good for you. Good for you for giving that. Yeah.
Video camera in hand.
Yeah.
Gosh, you remember the Ariana Grande music video when that was Kris Jenner?
Yeah. I do remember that, actually.
That gets me every time.
There's Ariana Grande that I've been remembering recently, and I'm like, remember when she pretended to be black?
God.
Remember when she pretended to be Asian?
She is someone that I can never decide if I actually like her or if I don't like her at all, you know? Because there's like some of her music, so good. And then like, I just like don't like the way she acts sometimes. But then when she's like on like Jimmy Kimmel, not Jimmy Kimmel. No. Yes? Who's the one that was on SNL? Jimmy Fallon. When she's on Jimmy Fallon or when she was on SNL, like she's really funny.
Yeah.
And she has no right to be that funny. But
I agree.
I don't know. Some of her songs busted down, but then also she like left her husband and immediately got with SpongeBob, and like that's a questionable choice, baby.
It's a very questionable choice. And then she like made like a whole her like Thank You Next song is like crazy.
Thank You Next is good. The other one, Yes and that's what it is. Yes and.
Yes. And
also like why Ethan Slater looks like her brother.
Exactly.
Like.
Thank you for saying it. Thank you for saying it. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. It's just weird to me. It's
ready to get K-popified?
Let's get K-popped.
Nice.
Let's get K-pop.
Is there anything like you want to start out with that like you would like to vibe?
So, for clarification's sake, my K-pop knowledge is very surface level. I know songs. I know like sometimes the group that did that song. And I know that sometimes they get really racist for no reason. Like I know SHINee because I like SHINee. So I know a lot of SHINee songs. I know like One Girl's Generation songs. I also realized that most of the K-pop stuff that I know is like at this point old school. Cause what I know, I learned in my this is gonna sound so like the randomest thing. I heard about K-pop when I was in my sophomore year of high school because my English class was a world English class, like world literature. And for our Asia unit, she was playing us like J-rock.
Nice.
And then and so it was getting a lot, and like J-pop, and so it was getting a lot of the like Japanese versions of songs by K-pop groups.
Mm-hmm.
So like we got Lucifer by Shiny, but Japanese.
Oh, when Taemin's hair is a blonde bowl cut and they put a
Yeah.
leather party hat on him.
Yeah. So we got stuff like that. Which then quickly turned into regular K-pop. And one of my friends, that class was so funny because it was mostly like people that I didn't really hang out with. Oh, hi, Dirk.
Mm-hmm.
It was people that I didn't really hang out with, because they were the like sporty crowd, they're the sporty crowd, the like popular kids, and then me and one of my best friends who was one of my 2 maid of honors at my wedding, and we were in band together. Another kid who had used to be in band with us, and then another one of our friends. And we all 4 sat in the back of the class next to the teacher's desk because the teacher was the mom of another one of our band friends. So we knew she was like really into all the nerdy stuff. Like she made our class watch Star Wars, and nobody else besides us 4 had seen Star Wars. And we were like, how have you never seen Star Wars in your life? You're 17 or 16 years old. How have you never seen Star Wars?
Exactly. Your dad didn't indoctrinate you?
What? You weren't watching? You didn't have the Phantom Menace activity book as a child?
And Darth Maul blow it up?
It was really funny because we were watching it. We had to watch it. You know, it's a like 45-minute class period in school. So we had to watch it in parts. And on the second day, when it got to the end, our teacher at the beginning class went, don't spoil it. Like, looked at us 4 in the back and went, don't spoil it. And at the end, when Luke and Leia kissed, everybody else in the room was going, aww. Well, us 4 were being like, huh. And she looked at us again and went, don't say anything. And we were all just like, ugh. It was the funniest thing. But that class is where I was introduced to K-pop. So
nice.
So that was, for context, that was the 2012-2013 school year.
Yeah.
So.
Great.
That was them.
Great. We're doing good.
Which apparently is now like ancient history in K-pop.
Yeah. So in K-pop, there are things called gens for like generations of K-pop, right? And first gen was mainly right when the Hallyu stuff started. Hallyu means hot. It's 2 words. Or it's 1 word joined together, but 2 words. Han means Korean, and Yu means like water flow wave thing. So Hallyu means the Korean wave, and that started like late 90s, like 97, around in there. It technically started in the early 90s, but we don't talk about that because it's mainly just like propaganda.
Okay.
But the like main part of the Hallyu stuff started with first generation K-pop, and that was a total of like 3 companies max, I think. And I don't remember which companies they were, but SM was definitely one of them. Come on, man. I'm yapping right now. Can we, like, chill? He's having a lot today. But the, like, the first groups, typically that people talk about whenever they're talking about, like, first-gen groups are, like, Shinhwa, and, Sotaji and the Boys, and, like SES. Those are typically like the groups that people like talk about and stuff with first gen. Mainly a lot of their songs at that point in time coming out of Korea. Before these groups were mainly like what are they called? Like, I'm so proud to be a part of this country songs. And like typically like Korea's version of God Bless America.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that was
yeah.
mainly what was happening. And that was the only thing that was being on TV, and stuff like that. You know, things. And then we get first generation K-pop, and they're singing things like being like, I'm so in love with you, and like, I hate the fact that you just broke up with me kind of songs, right? Like, we're actually getting into like pop culture kind of songs. Instead of like, wow, everything is amazing. Look at the military kind of things, you know?
Okay.
So, we get to that in first gen. Oh my god. Oh, right on my ovaries. He just did it, man.
Dude.
So, in second gen is when we get to more of the songs that like me and you like know and we like grew up with, I guess. And second gen groups became more of let's try and expand outside of Korea, right? Like the Hallyu stuff for like the Korean wave, for expanding pop culture outside of Korea started in the late 90s, sure, but it didn't really like pick up steam until like the early 2000s when YouTube was a huge thing. That's mainly where like all of this like big push for K-pop kind of just like happened because YouTube became big, and so all of these companies and groups started putting all of their stuff on YouTube. Therefore, everybody else in the world could see it. So like, second gen groups include, and there are going to be lots of names that you would know. Girls' Generation, FX, Shiny. I guess that like Wonder Girls, 2PM, like those groups, Big Bang, for instance, like lots of groups came out at this point in time that lots of people would be like, old K-pop. Like, that's what people think of as old K-pop nowadays. And these were right when everybody was trying really hard to make it big and make it, make a global audience, right? Wonder Girls and Girls' Generation both are some of the first ones that were actually like part of like the actual like big thing, the thing that made it across the world. Wonder Girls actually had a spot on Nickelodeon, or Disney. I do not remember which one. But they performed on a show with the Jonas Brothers, or it was Big Time Rush. I do not remember which one. It was one of those boy bands.
Yeah.
But they performed with them. Editing Joy here to make sure that you all know that it's actually the Jonas Brothers. I was right. It was the Jonas Brothers. They were performing with them on their 2009 world tour. Wonder Girls and the Jonas Brothers, not Wonder Girls and Big Time Rush.
That's cool.
Which is cool, great. Hyuna, from 4 Minute, X 4 Minutes, and then she's, you know, got off the deep end. We'll get to that later. She used to be in Wonder Girls too.
Okay.
But she left due to a health issue. So
she's the one that did Bubble Pop, right?
Yes.
Okay, I know that song. I like that song. I also know that one, the music video, was considered too hot for TV when it first came out.
Yeah, there's lots of things now that like are being shown and stuff that would be considered as like too hot for TV. Back especially in like the second gen era of K-pop. Hey.
Oh,
What happened? Okay.
I just heard you
Sorry.
accidentally hit a key and then you were gone.
It's because I hit space and the thing was still. Anyway, it's fine. Where's this coming to me? It's coming to me. I got so distracted. The coming to me. What was I just talking about?
Too hot for TV.
Oh yeah. So like there are lots of things like nowadays that would be like if it was promoted back in the quote unquote yield times of 2008, it would be like way too hot for TV. Like the entirety of, we're skipping forward a little bit, but the entirety of Olive and Hyphen's stuff would be censored back in 2008. But they're way later. So we're not going to talk about them till way later. But the yeah, like Girls' Generation, they had a spot on SNL actually. And the Tonight Show, they had like lots of spots. Especially like early to like mid-career, they had a lot of things happening in the US. They were one of the first ones to actually come to the US to do all of these like huge like TV shows and stuff that we usually accredit to BTS. BTS is third generation, right? And that's when the world starts to get to know a lot of like newer groups that are coming out. Like there are all of these like older groups and you're like finding them and you're like, oh my god, like I love SHINee. SHINee's great. But lots of people, especially in like boy band and girl band and like things like groups like that, typically what people want to get in on the ground floor for that, right? Like we see it with like any other form of like band typically. Like Five Sauce, for instance, lots of people aren't into Five Sauce anymore because the people who are into Five Sauce got it on the ground floor for 5 Seconds Summer, right? And same thing with like a lot of Fall Out Boy, is that like lots of people got it on the ground floor at Fall Out Boy and then like kind of fell off and then like got back whenever they rebranded. Like
yeah, I was about to say I think Fall Out Boy is like a really interesting case because I got in like during their last album pre-hiatus.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I love these guys. And then like after the tour for that album, because I was 11 years old and begging my parents to take me, that obviously didn't happen. But after that, that's when they announced the hiatus. But I was still a fan, and then I remember in 2013, I was sitting in class scrolling my phone under my desk and saw the like Fall Out Boy is back announcements, and I freaked out. And I remember that same friend I had the English class with. I remember tapping her on the shoulder because she was sitting in front of me, and I went, "Fall Out Boy's back," and she was like, "What?" I was like, "They're back, they're back." And it's so weird to me seeing like fans now, like mostly playing just like the hits from pre-hiatus and post-hiatus stuff, and I'm like, you don't even know like I've got a dark alley and a bad idea that says you should shut your mouth. You don't even know that song. You don't even know that.
Like that's definitely how like, you know, people think about like just like especially K-pop in general, because things move so fast with K-pop, especially now, but like things move so fast. And so people wanted to get in on the ground floor with all of these like newer groups that were happening. So that's when third gen starts, and that's BTS, GOT7, Red Velvet, like all of these like now I know it's a shocker, they're 10 years old. These groups, all of these third gen groups just celebrated their 10-year anniversary or are about to.
Oh my god, no.
And that's
I know.
huge.
That's because I remember I was in college, new person in our department, they showed up and they were like talking. They were like, I'm really into K-pop. And I was like, oh, I kind of like K-pop. And they were like, oh, who do you like? And at that time, Blackpink was new. And I was like, I don't know, like Blackpink. And then I remember that person being like, oh, they're kind of mainstream. I really like Red Velvet though, because at the time, Red Velvet was like nothing. So I remember that. I remember being called, or not being called a poser, but being acted like I was a poser because I was like, I don't know, I guess I like Blackpink. Specifically, they asked about girl groups, and I was like, I don't know any girl groups right now.
Girl group? And, like, a lot of the, like, stuff that was coming out of, like, 2013 and, like, through, I think, the third gen, let me double check this, but I am, like, 95% sure the third gen K-pop, stops at 2016.
That's crazy.
It was a very short era. It's like 2012 through like 2016. Yeah.
Wild.
2018. I lied to you.
So.
Yeah. 2018.
That's pretty short comparatively.
Yeah. Because like the other ones were like 2006 to 2013, like 2012, around in there. So, you know, whatever. But yeah, like all of these like groups are like starting to come out, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, like I love like all of these like YouTube videos that like BTS are putting out, and like all of their like silly backstage shenanigans, or same thing like happening with GOT7 and their variety shows, and like Red Velvet's like fun little things that they were doing. Everybody was doing fun little things on YouTube at that point in time. Everybody had their own channel. Everybody was doing their fun little things. And, you know, like people were getting into them and getting to know like the personals of like these like idols that they have never seen before, basically. So people started getting more into their music. Music videos started having lore, thanks to BTS. So that people started like getting into that aspect of it, with the lore of their music videos, and like a music video would come out and another one would come out and be like, how do these like lores match up? And it was a big thing for BTS. Like there were conspiracy theory videos about like what's happening in all their lore videos, and it was huge. It was a huge thing for them. And like I used to have a K-pop journal. I don't anymore. I just have a normal journal, but I used to have a K-pop journal that I would write all my K-pop thoughts in. And I had multiple, and I tell you multiple. Okay, bye. He was
you really foghorn leghorned. You turned into that rooster. I tell you multiple.
Please don't tell my mom. She's terrified of foghorn leghorn. She's terrified of him. Hi. She thinks that chicken is the devil.
Why?
He's a 6 foot tall chicken and she's afraid of birds. Like, it's very understandable.
Okay. That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. But, like, she also had nightmares about him.
Oh,
As a full-grown woman, she had nightmares about him.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so she hates foghorn leghorn and any tall chicken of that variety. Or just any chicken of variety. You know, she doesn't like them. Anyway. But yeah, I had multiple pages in that journal that I was looking through a couple days ago that were about BTS's storyline and like what's happening in it, and like my theories about what's happening next, or like what's happening in things, and like I was trying to piece it together with my friends. Like it was a big thing with this whole storyline stuff. And like more people started to get into BTS because of this, and now BTS is this huge global superpower, who are now all officially the army, woohoo. But now they're like this big global superpower that nobody feels like they can take down. All because of them starting to plant those tiny little seeds back in 2013 whenever they started their little YouTube channel where they posted all of their fun little backstage stuff. Their BTSs, if you will.
That's how we got Ollie London. Oh my god.
That's how we got Ollie London. That's how we got like a lot of stuff, man.
That's
was
crazy.
Because of those like little things that BTS decided they wanted to do, and posting all of these videos of them just having fun and being teenage boys. Like,
if BTS hadn't posted backstage videos, Ollie London wouldn't be where he is right now.
No, he'd be going after a different K-pop boy. Let's be completely honest.
Yes. Let's be fully honest.
It would not be Jimin. It would be another K-pop boy. But yeah, like it was this big thing that like people were like getting into a lot of stuff, especially if you talk to like anybody now who is like my age and older, they will tell you that their like stuff that got them into K-pop was something that happened in 2012 or 2013, or they got into K-pop around 2012 or 2013, because I did, and that was SHINee's Everybody. And that's how I calculate where I am in the time spectrum, because I got into K-pop because of a very certain I was really into Vocaloid before this. I still am. Miku is my sole surviving saint. Yeah, exactly. Mika Beam, you know. But coming to me. Oh, I was watching a cosplay dance video, right? This is gonna be a deep cut, guys. I was watching a cosplay dance video, and I was watching it recently, and it just like brought me so much like nostalgia watching it. Granted, I was maybe 11, maybe 12, around in there. Yeah, I was little, watching these people in cosplay as my favorite characters, you know, like dancing and having a good time. That's what I wanted to do, right? And then these two songs come on, and I'm like, I don't know these songs. Are they like new Vocaloid songs? And it was SHINee's Lucifer and Girls' Generation's GD. And those were the two songs that got me into K-pop. Beautiful. And so after that, I looked it up, and I was like, wow, this Taemin guy, crazy, man. And then I was also a very closeted child, and did not know that I had a huge crush on Sunny from Girls' Generation, but I did, and now I'm coming to terms with that. That Sunny from Girls' Generation is my gay awakening, and she should be. But
I feel like mine was so generic compared to that. I looked at Zooey Deschanel when 500 Days of Summer came out, and I went, wow,
that's so
a girl can be that?
Though.
A girl can be that? So it took me a very long time to decide if I wanted to be that or if I wanted to be with that, and then the answer was both. So, and I never even actually saw that movie. This was all from just the trailers.
But yeah, so I got into K-pop because of those two videos. And then I was watching it, and I had watched all of SHINee's content up until that point, right? I was like, wow, I am diving headfirst into this. Drug my friends along with me. We're jumping in. And then SHINee's Everybody came out 2 weeks later after that. And I was like, there's a new music video? What? Crazy. So I started my K-pop journey when SHINee's Everybody came out. And if you ask anybody else, like Lawrence, for instance, he says that he was into K-pop in around 2013, 2014. Around in there. And if you were in the like fandom cosplay space, it's not Block B would have been your thing, because of, and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna hold your hand so gently when I say this, it's a Homestuck thing. So Blackpink would have been like your K-pop gateway. Everybody else in the entire world basically was going through this whole thing of being like, what's K-pop? Oh, it's like this fun like thing where like girls in bright colors and dealing with G from Girls' Generation, or BTS's like hardcore stuff, and then Gangnam Style comes out. And the entire world is swept into this huge Gangnam Style shenanigans.
Yep.
And everybody's like, have you seen this music video? It's so wild. Like, I remember my friends in 6th grade being like, have you seen this music video? It's so wild. You should watch it. Like, and I was just like, yeah, it's okay. So that's all contributing to the like big thing of 3rd generation. 4th generation, which just happened, and past tense just happened, is post BTS becoming a huge thing. So now everybody's trying to recreate BTS's success in the US, right? BTS's success throughout the whole entire world. So now we're getting groups like, and this is going to become a little foggy and hazy for me because I'm not entirely sure when these groups debuted. But I think it's like TXT, and Hyphen, hold on, let me just look it up.
That is something that I'm definitely gonna have a question about later, is group names.
Yeah.
Because I always thought it was in Hypen. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. And also, one that I know for a while I was really bad about was 21.
Oh.
I thought it was to anyone.
It's technically both.
I like that. Okay, because I was
because that's the whole point of 21 is that it was technically both, because most of them started when they were 21, right?
Okay.
And so they were doing all of this stuff when they were 21, and then they started growing older. So they started pronouncing it more as to anyone, as to anyone.
Okay.
Like,
okay,
they're making their music for anyone, to anyone.
Yeah.
And that's mainly why they started that. Also, their fandom name is Blackjacks, and I think that's really cute because you need 21 cards or 21 points to Blackjack.
Yeah. That's fun. Really that's cute. I like that.
It's also back when K-pop like fandom names used to be cute, and now they're like silly.
All I know is Shawls for Shiny. I know Army for BTS.
And I was talking to Lawrence about this like a couple days ago, because we went to a K-pop event, or we were going to a K-pop event or something. I don't remember what we were doing. But I was talking about BTS's stuff. So BTS, little backstory on them. They used to be called Bantansoyeondan. And Bantansoyeondan means Bulletproof Boy Scouts. And their whole thing with the Bulletproof Boy Scouts is that they had their original logo was a bulletproof vest. And it was like their whole thing that they were going to be like, I'm unstoppable. Yeah. Cool. We're hardcore rappers, and stuff like that. And they kind of got a little dicey with like Namjoon's like hairstyles and him being inspired by black rappers, and it got a little dicey with that, but like we're looking past that now. He's apologized for it, we're moving on. But words.
I knew Bangtan Boys.
Oh yes. So
I knew that.
They went from Bantan Soyeondan, the Bulletproof Boy Scouts, then they went to Bantan Boys.
I knew that one.
And then they just started going by BTS, kind of, so that they could move towards like being a global superpower. And then they changed their name to Beyond the Scene for BTS. So technically their name means Beyond the Scene, and it's not just BTS.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they changed their name, and now
like,
their fandom name doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because they're no longer the Bulletproof Boy Scouts, so why do you have an army behind you?
Yeah. That's, I don't know.
And they still have their, like, the army bombs. Like, their light stick is still shaped like a bomb. So, like, there's still, like, remnants of, like, this thing, but they went through, like, this whole, like, brand name change. And now it doesn't make any sense.
Weird. No, because the only, like, I remember, back in, like, 2019 in country music, there was a big push, to essentially remove lots of references to, like, slavery era South.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember the Dixie Chicks stopping the Dixie Chicks and just went to the Chicks.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Antebellum tried to turn into Lady A, but there was already a black musician with the name Lady A, and so that was a whole time. And then I know in the more emo music, there was a group called Andrew Jackson Jihad that they were like, well, Andrew Jackson was horrible, and none of us like are part of the religion that uses jihad. So let's just call ourselves AJJ, and that'll be it. Which is different from AJR, and my brain likes to confuse them, even though they are not the same.
Very fair.
AJJ sings songs about how sad they are, like, really fast. Like, it's really fast, really upbeat, but it's a very, like, I am depressed.
Me too.
Well, AJR is like, you know, that song about playing the tiny violin or something. I don't know. You know that one?
I can't wait for that like section just to be the one like that people clip out of context.
Well, yeah, you know the song is on TikTok viral. They're like, da 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 da. So let me play my violin for you.
Oh yeah, okay. I see. I know what you're talking about.
It's something about a tiny violin or something, right?
Bro, I'm just gonna be so honest. The only AJR song that I listen to is Breeze Blocks, and I'm pretty sure that's AJR. And I don't think it is now that I'm saying it.
I think it's.
Wait. And now I gotta look it up again. Bang! It's Bang. It's not Breeze Blocks. It's Bang.
Breeze Blocks is a song, though.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah. Breeze Blocks is Alt J.
That's
what's
what
up with
it is.
What's up with bands being AJ?
There's too many. I get
too many
confused.
Too many.
But yeah, like fourth gen K-pop groups are all of these ones that, like, if you went to K-pop stuff with me a couple times and like watched and like saw any of these ones that you're like, who are these new ass like kids? I don't know these kids. That's ITZY, Stray Kids, ATEEZ, and Hyphen, TXT, Everglow, Kepler. All of these, like...
Is that like LE SSERAFIM?
LE SSERAFIM, I think... Maybe. Let me see when LE SSERAFIM debuted.
I'm
pretty sure LE SSERAFIM is... debut, please. Debut date, please. Yeah, no, LE SSERAFIM is Gen 5.
Okay. That makes sense why I've been hearing about them somewhat recently.
Yeah. So...
That makes sense.
We had just talked about how, I don't know why I closed my Google tab because I kind of need it. We talked about how, these like K-pop thing, like these K-pop generations keep getting shorter and shorter and shorter. K-pop generations are usually like told from a standpoint of when something new and exciting comes out, or something that changes K-pop to be something different, or when SM debuts a new group. It's a set. They usually debut sets. It's usually a girl group, then a boy group, then a girl group, then a boy group, then a girl group, then a boy group. Is usually how they did things. That's also when people decide when the like generations are.
Okay.
So like second generation SHINee and FX, that was second generation. And girls generation technically. But like third generation, Red Velvet and EXO were the two. And then fourth generation were NCT and aespa. And then now we are in the fifth generation. And I don't think that SM has a new group after that. But now we're in the fifth generation where people are just like coming out with newer like brand new things. New jeans is a big thing for the newer generation of K-pop, the newest. And like Illit and all of these like newer groups that have debuted since like 2020, 2021 on have been fifth generation, or I think like 2022 on. It's all of these like newer fifth gen groups. I'm gonna be so honest, some of these groups I don't even know. I don't even know a lot of the songs that they put out.
Yeah, I know like I've seen, I think that was like a 2-part video that ended up catching my eye one time that I watched all of, that was about some group that had like 6 different debuts because they kept like changing the name and then changing like 1 or 2 people in the lineup, but it was still pretty much the same group. I don't remember. I also remember that it was like really, really messy, like because management wasn't telling any of the girls anything. And so they would just be like, one girl being like, people would be like, are you in the group? And she'd be like, I don't know, genuinely. At this point, I have no clue. Nobody talks to me about anything. But it was stuff like they'd be like, oh, no, this girl's not in the group anymore because she's from Taiwan and she couldn't get her visa fixed. And she's like, no, they just didn't call me. I was in Taiwan with my family and they just didn't call me. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what group it was.
I do not know. I'm going to be so honest. But
I'll have to see if I can find that.
There's a lot of like stuff happening. Like now that we're in 5th gen and everybody knows what K-pop is. Like everybody and their mom. You don't have to like explain that K-pop is Korean pop music to anybody. You're like, K-pop is K-pop. It's how it works. And now that like there's so many people like into it and there could be so many groups that people are into, not everybody's into BTS and Blackpink anymore. Like that's like basically like what the generations are. And like kind of just like how it got like introduced to the world and like how it got so popular, and like, you know, there's like more things that you could go like more into it with, like BTS's Rise of Stardom and how it started with Girls' Generation, and this whole like fights between like lots of K-pop stans being like who paved the way and things like that. But like I don't want to get into all that. It's just I'm not about that.
From my experience, K-pop stans tend to be kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's not necessarily that they're crazy. They're just really passionate. And they're passionate about wanting to let their faves be everybody else's faves. But if you make their fave too mainstream, then that is also bad.
Yeah. That's just, I don't know, man.
It's a hard line to, like, have.
I mean, I guess I kind of
that a lot
understand
with
it.
Stray Kids right now. Is that, like, Stray
yeah.
Kids in ATEEZ, they used to be, like, these, like, everybody was like, oh, well, like, Stray Kids is alright, or, like, ATEEZ is, like, cool, but they're kind of, like, a K-pop term that we use a lot is nugu groups, and nugu means, like, who. It's, like, a question. In Korean, it's, like, who? Like, who did that? Nugu? So, like, it's all of these, like, nugu groups of people. You okay, baby? Yeah, she looks okay. But it's like these people promoting these nugu groups, and then those people getting mad that other groups are getting attention is typically what all of this, like, K-pop discourse is about. It's happening a lot with Stray Kids and ATEEZ right now because they're really big. Everybody knows who they are, especially if you're into K-pop. You know who those, like, boys are. They even in K-pop Demon Hunters, the movie that just came out, that I just watched, is really good. There she is, right down there.
Bish.
But in K-pop Demon Hunters, there is one of the idols, one of the boys, that is most likely based off of one of the ATEEZ members, and that's how big they are. And so there's lots of, like, discourse about, like, them still being a nugu group and things like that. But yeah, that's mainly what's going on. And now, like, also in, like, terms of, like, K-pop and, like, the Hallyu, like, stuff, it wasn't just K-pop that was part of the, like, Korean wave. It was also, like, K-dramas and just, like, any form of Korean media, like, their, like, reality shows, their variety shows, like, things like that, was also a part of this, like, Korean wave. So, like, Squid Game, huge part, huge, like, thing for, like, this like, movement. Also, Train to Busan, very huge, very big thing. Parasite winning an Oscar, huge. Like,
Bong
all of
Joon-ho
those things.
making, like, even the fact that he just, like, made Mickey 17
Exactly.
recently, I feel like is a big indication of that.
Huge, big things. But yeah, so it's not just K-pop that's part of the Hallyu stuff, and I want to, like, clarify that just in case anybody was curious. It's not just K-pop; it's anything about Korean culture, and Korean pop culture at that.
There was that one manhwa that got a makeup line somewhere recently.
Oh, like True Beauty or something like that?
Yeah.
Gangnam Beauty?
Yeah. Because she's, like, an office worker, and she, like,
yeah.
like, part of the thing is she intentionally does her makeup, like, every chapter, and so
yeah,
I remember that.
And, like, Korean skincare too, like, that's, like, a huge thing now.
Yeah.
That, like, even if you're not into K-pop, or you're not into K-dramas, or you're not into, like, K-movies or anything like that, like, still you're surrounded by, like, this ever like, ebb and flow of Korean pop culture and Korean media and Korean culture. Like, everybody's hit with it. Whether you're a beauty influencer or not, like, you're just, everything is surrounded by Korean culture. And I think that, like, lots of things you can attribute to, like, BTS and Girls' Generation for that. But yeah, I think it's really cool that something that started out in the late 90s has become now this, like, huge global thing that has caused the country of South Korea to just, like, skyrocket. Yeah. Are there any questions?
It's kind of wild.
Any questions for me, the not professor?
So, I know that groups have like roles that they tend to have. What is like what determines who does what in the group, and also like what is like the most basic version of like these are the different roles.
Yeah. So
And
that's a
also,
really
have they
great
come away
question.
from that? Have they come away from that recently,
A
or is
little
that
bit.
still
A little bit.
okay?
It kind of started so back when like Girls' Generation was big. That's really when you started to get like all of these like main roles for the group, and I'm going to use Shiny as a very basic example because they have 5 members. That is the easiest way to explain roles for a group. So first you have the main roles, which is main dancer, main vocalist, main rapper, visual, and then leader. That is typically the group, how it is made up. The main dancer, main rapper, main vocal, those 3 are typically, all of these are given in training before they become a group. So they are handpicked while they are training to, you're going to be the main dancer of this group. Boop. You're going to be the main vocal of this group. Boop. You're going to be the main rapper of this group. Boop. You're going to be the visual because you're so pretty. Boop. Like, that's just how K-pop groups are formed and were formed. Unless you were on a like survival show, then that's like a different process. But that's typically how they are formed, and then they train together for like a year and a half, and then boom, they debut. Right? Like idols can be in training from anywhere from like 3 months, from what I've heard is like really short. 3 months to like 10 years, right? Like they can be in training for so long. But whenever you are in training, that's when you get your role for said group. They just like hand pick you and put you in there. For Shiny's Shiny's case, they chose Anyu as the leader because he is the oldest. They chose Key and Mino to be the visuals because Key had a unique sense of style. He's gay. Unique sense of style. And Mino is the most conventionally attractive. Right? They also chose Mino to be the main rapper, and Key to be the lead rapper. So he does all of the raps when Mino doesn't. And that's just how it works out for them. You know, kinds of things. The vibes. Then Taemin they chose to be the main dancer because he was the best at it. Simple point. That's straight to the point. And they chose Jonghyun to be the main vocal because he was the best at it. And then they formed this little group together, and now they're like in their like 17th like anniversary or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's really how things are done. They still have main dancer, main vocal, main rapper. Usually people like still have that in their groups, unless you are special cases like in Hyphen who doesn't have a rapper. They're all vocalists. They still have a main dancer and a main vocal, but they just don't have a main rapper. And like things like that, you know, like all of these things still have main and leads of all of the core things. Like they still have a main visual too. The only thing that is kind of less nowadays is leaders. There are typically not that many like leaders in K-pop now. Mainly because it's a lot to put on a like person to be in charge of an entire group of people, you know?
Yeah.
Just to like also with their managers and stuff. But like that person while they are on stage, it's a lot for one person to deal with, you know? I go to recently. Stray Kids just had their concert in on one of the hottest days of the year in DC. They just had it. I think it was like last night, as of recording this. And they John, while he was on stage, he was making sure that everybody was drinking water, not only like his own bandmates, the people around him, but also the fans as well. And I think that's a lot to put on one singular person. He's been like that throughout his entire career. Namjoon of BTS, same thing. He's been their translator, their caretaker, like all of these things for just like like a group of 7 people. Like that's a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Like
that's crazy.
It's enough being like, you know, like I'm the happy friend. I'm going to be the ray of sunshine for everybody else. It's a lot being that. Just let alone being with these people like almost 24/7, especially early like years like into debut, like whenever they all like live in a dorm together, like that's a lot to deal with. I also think about like 17, who has 13 members, and they only have one leader. They have separate like co-groups. Like they have like a performance unit, a vocal unit, a rap unit, right? But they have one leader. Singular.
That's
like,
crazy.
That's a lot for somebody to deal with. Like one person, you know? So I think that's why like lots of groups aren't having like leadership roles anymore. And it really started with Blackpink saying that we don't have a leader. We're all strong, independent women. We don't need one. And I'm like, Slay Queens, I guess. But yeah, so they were the first ones to really be like, we don't have a leader. That's not really our thing.
Interesting.
And yeah. So that's like mainly what like the roles are for, is also for you to pick a favorite before debut. Like pre-debut wise, if you're like, wow, I really like the dancers. Like, I guess I'll stand the main dancer before like the song even comes out. So so they can have fans prior to their debut single, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sparks another question. I know in like J-pop idols, those groups tend to be like gigantic, huge, like subunits that are still decently large. Like I remember Baby Metal came from a group that was like a girls' academy stylized group, and they were just the metal club. But like that was the subgroups were. They were like genre clubs, but it was like one huge giant group. And then there's a group that did a collaboration with a PSP that has like 100 members.
Yeah,
which is insane. What, like, K-pop doesn't have that big.
No. Typically K-pop things are like smaller, and that's only to like also differentiate between J-pop and K-pop. With a lot of these J-pop things is that lots of the idols who are there are going to be graduated out eventually. Like I'll take AKB48 for instance. They have 48 members. That is their said number. Once a member grows tired and wants to retire, they go have a huge graduation concert ceremony, basically, and then they transfer out to do whatever they want to do after that. With Seraphim Sakura, she used to be in HKB48 or HKT48. Letters are hard. But she used to be there, and then she had her graduation ceremony to be in the Seraphim. So there's like lots of these things now. Also, like back in like ye olden times, quote unquote, idols used to be a lot more of Korean demographic, right? Like all of SHINee is Korean, right? That's just how it was. Girls' Generation. Oh, sorry. Majority of Girls' Generation was Korean. Nowadays we have a lot more mix of ethnicities, even like fully like groups with like no one who is Korean in them, right? Which is cool. Like Black Swan, cool. They're so cool. I love them.
Yeah.
But like now we're having groups like Cat's Eye, who like only sings in English and came from, you know, like a like show, and you know they're still labeled a K-pop group, and XG is all Japanese. They're still labeled a K-pop group. So
interesting.
You know, yeah. Interesting. And but like back to your question about like the group size is typically because of those graduation ceremonies, they're able to keep like the group size pretty finite and big. In K-pop wise, they've tried multiple times to do a graduation like thing. That's what Girls' Generation was supposed to be. And that didn't work out. That's what Rania was supposed to be. That didn't work out. That's what After School was supposed to be. That didn't work out. Just multiple times they've tried the same kind of concept. And that's really only working now with NCT. And NCT, as we talked about, is 4th generation K-pop. Like that's a long time to be like trying this thing over and over and over again just for it to like, you know, finally kind of work with NCT. And the only way that it works with NCT is because of its what's it called? The like separate units that they have. Because they have their they have like their NCTU unit that is all of them, and then they have like NCT 127, NCT V, like Wavy, like all of these like yeah, like they have
and
like,
I
different
remember
versions of them.
I remember hearing about one of the like I want to say like Gen 3 groups, maybe a Gen 4 group, that was like they had a Korean, it might have been Big Bang. They had a like Korea based one, and they had like a China based one, and they had like a Japan based one. EXO.
Yeah. So okay. EXO's whole thing is that there was EXO K and EXO M, and this was right when they debuted. They had 12 members, 6 members in each. 6 of them sang in Mandarin, 6 of them sang in Korean.
Oh,
that
okay.
was like their whole thing.
Cool.
And then lots of the XOM people left. Or were caught up in a huge controversy and had to leave. I'm looking at you, Chris, because you slept with minors.
Ooh.
Yeah. So there's like lots of things with that. But typically they like if there is like a bigger group like EXO and like 17 and like, you know, those like bigger groups, typically there are going to be like subunits in it, so you can get to know those like people better. Like 17 having a vocal unit, a like rap unit, a performance unit. They even have smaller units than that where there's like a duo of them or a trio of them. Yeah, there's a lot.
Okay.
But typically instead of it being one big 48 member group, it's going to be smaller groups, and even if it is a bigger group, it's going to be subunits inside of that big group.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, this is a random little side tangent segue that I definitely forgot to mention during the wrestling episode. There's a wrestler. She does like death matches a lot. She really likes to get crazy bloody and stuff like that. She's insane. But she used to be in the Japanese idol group Link. And now I think technically is still a part of Tokiwokiru. Her name is Maki Ito. She is an idol, and that's like part of her wrestling gimmick is that she's an idol.
Cool.
And her ring entrance music is her solo singing a song that she did with one of her groups.
Cute.
And I think
love
that's
that.
so fun.
That's so cool.
Maki Ito. Love Maki Ito. She's insane. I don't know what we're gonna do with the bleeping situation on here, but her like big thing is whenever she like makes videos on Instagram, she goes, "Hi motherfuckers." Like, she's so funny. She's great.
I think we have time for like 1 or 2 more questions, depending on the size.
I have 2. Perfect.
Great. Amazing.
One was kind of answered with the roles thing, was how are groups really formed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's mainly just like we have a whole bunch of trainees, right? Imagine have a whole bunch of trainees, bunch of them, whole like gigantic group of them, right? And that whole gigantic group is gonna get split into a couple of different little groups, and then we're going to find out who is the best dancer of you, who is the best rapper of you, who is the best who is the prettiest of you, unfortunately, and who is like the best vocal of you, and then we're going to mix and match, and that's what's going to work out. If you hate each other, we don't care. You're going to make us money though. That's kind of just how it works. And that's how I am convinced that Blackpink does not like each other, and they've never liked each other. Because of things like that. I think that Rose is trying her best to be friends with everybody, but I think that Jennie and Lysa genuinely do not like each other.
Huh.
Yeah.
That would also, I guess, tangentially explain why there's so much controversy and so much scandal that happens in K-pop. Is if you just don't like the people you're working with, to get out of it, you might see the only way to leave to be like, guess I'm just gonna be a bad person real quick.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna like go smoke in an alleyway and hope somebody catches me. Or recently, there was get this. There's a group called The Boys, right?
The Boys.
There is like
the show from
so
Amazon.
many of them, and I don't know how many of them there are. There might be 11. But one of their members, recently was spotted, gasp, with at a party with some friends that included a Japanese or an ex-Japanese adult video star.
Oh.
She's former.
Okay.
This man is 26. There's nothing controversial going on with her other than she worked as a sex worker.
Yeah.
She just did some cosplay stuff. Heaven forbid, you know?
Yeah. God forbid a woman have hobbies.
He is now having to leave his group, apologize for going to a party with her, leave his group because she was an ex star because she did sex work. Isn't that crazy?
God forbid a man enjoy a woman's company.
Exactly. God forbid you go to a party with some friends.
Jeez.
He's 26.
That's crazy.
And I think that's a huge thing that we'll get into it at another point in time.
That is crazy.
I have problems with in K-pop. But today is just basic information. Yeah.
My last question is so we've all seen the viral "This is how LE SSERAFIM stays in shape. They die every single day by doing 100 jumping jacks and 100 burpees and so many different variations of a plank that you're just gonna pass out."
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we all know Kazuya sits there and does another whole ab workout. That's crazy. And that plus this might be a kind of entirely separate thing. What's up with this whole philosophy of life that's popped up around Wangyong.
Yeah.
That's like crazy to me.
Yeah.
But specifically, I wanted to talk about the like crazy workout routines and crazy why are they being told
the whole thing
to
with that is because it's all like beauty standard wise in Korea's beauty standards and how unobtainable they are basically.
Yeah.
And these people are practicing in like every single day. They're in the studio practicing constantly. They're there for like hours doing this. And on top of that, they're especially these girl groups and used to, I don't know if they do it that much anymore because it's such a big like controversial thing. But I'm assuming they do it with Le Seraphim because of Le Seraphim's workout routine. That they do every single morning and then go practice for hours. And they also have like these crazy diets and stuff and things like that.
I saw one that was like a girl, if she needed to like lose some weight right before performance, she would like only eat a single sweet potato every day.
Yeah.
For 3 days, and that was it.
Yeah. It's crazy. And it's all just to like get to what South Korea thinks is like their beauty standard, right? And like it's just they like, especially with these girl groups, they like weigh them and then tell them that they have to diet. For instance, my like Alexa, for instance, I think she's going by Kim Seti now. I don't know, she's kind of in the middle of a rebrand. But she was told that she had to go on a diet because she was like over a certain amount of kilograms. And she's like, what? And they like measured her like body mass, like the like thing that like tells you how much of you is muscle and how much of you is like body fat, which you need to survive. And she was so much muscle that like she couldn't lose any of it without losing the muscle that she already had. So like that's what, if you think about what she went through with that, that's how all of these like idols are being like treated in terms of like the beauty standards of South Korea. Even like Jonghyun from Twice, she went through this whole thing with Korea hating her and like the world hating her because she gained weight while she was in the hospital.
I heard about that.
Yeah. And now she's been dieting like crazy. And it like she's lost an enormous amount of weight and it's terrifying to think about, you know?
Yeah.
Like how can someone lose that much weight in such a small amount of time, you know?
Who was that girl that was so thin that people were even like concerned for her being on stage? Because she was like literally when she was dancing, all it was like bone. You could see all of her bones while she was dancing. I
feel that way about Lysa from Blackpink, but I do not know because that could literally be any of the girl groups, or any of the boy groups, honestly, because it happens to the boy groups too. And there was a point in time where SHINee was not being fed, like at all, and they were growing boys. So Girls' Generation was literally feeding them out of their set diet. So like, you know,
that's
crazy,
insane.
Yeah,
that is insane. Where I went to college has a very popular dance school. Very like we are known for turning out Rockettes kind of popular dance school. And the like up until somewhat recently, it was crazy. Like they literally had to have a local dietitian come in because they still made the girls and boys, they made the students do weigh-ins and we're like, hey, you need to lose this much, you need to be below this weight by the next time we see you. And they had a dietitian come in and say, you need to put a minimum on this because your students are losing weight too fast that they're like having to go to the emergency room.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad. It's bad.
It's especially hard for like dancers and people who are performing. As someone who had an eating disorder for almost like I think like 5 years of her life, because of the dance world. Being told, like, whenever I was applying for college, being told that I way too much to get a degree was crazy, you know? And like
it's insane.
It's just like in this like K-pop world where all of these people are being like, you're being told that you like your current body image will not make you sell. We cannot sell you because of your current body image. And I feel like that's what they told Jonghyun a lot too, is because of like they kept putting her in bad outfits just to like give her more bad press, basically. That's so that they could quote unquote sell her.
That's insane work.
Yeah.
Just like
there's even like one girl who used to be in Pristine, who now she's like getting her degree. Good for her. I think she just graduated. But she's my age. And her thighs were like a little bit thicker than everybody else's. Heaven forbid she have a muscle. And yeah, she was forced to leave the group because of it, basically.
God forbid women have internal organs.
Exactly.
Jeez,
Anyway,
that's crazy.
Is that all your questions you got?
That was all that I had.
Cool. Great.
That is weird. That is weird that people are trying to make a religion out of Wangyong, though, right? That is.
Yeah. Yeah. No, really like they've been trying to make a religion out of her since she was 13.
Why?
Since she was 13.
Why her specifically?
Because like I don't know, she was just like gorgeous, I guess, as a 13-year-old. And I'm like, that's a full child. But yeah, and like I guess she sang pretty. But like now she's like growing up and people are like, I don't like the way that she sings now. And I'm like, she's going through puberty. Like,
yeah, that's crazy. I just know about it because I on Pinterest I like to save workouts so that I can try them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you save enough of them, then a Wangyongism starts to pop up on your feed. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, where did this come from?
I want to look up at how old she is now. Because when I was introduced to her, she was 13, turning 14. So.
That's wild. People are crazy.
What is her group's name? IVE? Yeah. How old is she now? She's 20! Like.
That's crazy.
It's because like she's supposed to be like this whole like girl next door kind of situation, but like the prettiest girl next door ever. And she's been in the spotlight since she was like 13.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. Anyway. It's a good episode.
K-pop is a kind of insane arena, huh?
Yeah. There's lots of good things and there's a lot of bad things. But I hope that I just shook my camera around and I did not mean to.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I can't wait to edit this later and be like, why did I do that? Anyway.
That'll be so fun.
I hope you learned something. I hope you guys learned something.
I did. I learned things.
Yeah. Stay tuned for our next episode, which is going to be a fun one, guys.
I'm very excited for it.
We gotta change the layout a little bit, too.
Yeah.
Wink wonk.
I'm excited because I know like what we have. I'm gonna have some unhinged takes. There's gonna be some stuff. There's gonna be some questionable stuff. There's gonna be some stuff that makes you guys go,
huh?
What?
I'm excited.
And I stand by it. That's all I gotta say. I stand by it.
It's gonna be a good time. Well, stay tuned, guys.
Oh, yeah.
For our good time. And thank you for coming to the Joy Yap Fest. I appreciate it. I was about to give like a full like YouTuber like please like and subscribe kind of
Like, comment, subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, like it, share it with your friends.
Share with
Post it on Facebook for your mom to watch.
Yeah, what did they used to say? They were like favorite it. That's the thing.
Favorite it,
like,
Google
favorite
Plus.
It. Yeah.
Share it on Google Plus.
Yeah. Anyway, bye guys.
Bye.